What the hell's wrong with the Steelers? Um, the Steelers are right now losers of 3 straight games. A game versus the then 2-10 Arizona Cardinals. A game versus the then 2-10 New England Patriots, and a game versus the then 7-6 Indianapolis Colts. So, what the hell's going on? Well, I think part of it is Kenny being hurt because it's odd. They do seem to play better, or at least have a better record when Kenny plays versus when he doesn't play. Mitch, here's what I gotta say. Saw a lot of Steelers fans online. Kenny sucks. Put Mitch in. Put Mitch in. Kenny sucks. Okay. Guys, just in case you forgot. We've seen this movie before. This isn't brand new. It's a rerun. Okay? We've seen it before. We saw it last year. And we've seen it a little bit when he was in Chicago. He is not good. Simple. And I think Kenny and Mitch, they're actually a little similar. A little bit. Neither one, right now, as we sit here, is a good quarterback. But there's one thing that Mitch does that Kenny does not, and that's turn the ball over. Kenny does not turn it over. He doesn't. Mitch is a turnover machine. He is. So while, yes, Kenny is not lighting it up on the scoreboard, he also isn't giving the ball to the other team. So, he's not good. Now, if you wanted to make the argument, hey, Kenny's not playing well, we know Mitch sucks, give Mason a chance. Give him a chance, see what he can do. Okay, that I can accept. We have not seen Mason Rudolph start a football game since 2019. That's how long it's been. He spent the entirety of last season as the third-string quarterback or the backup quarterback in games in which Kenny was not able to play. Then he has spent up to this point in the season as the third-string quarterback or the backup. We saw him for one drive, 4 plays against the Indianapolis Colts. So that really wasn't a good sample size, let's say. It wasn't a good showing of is he good or not. Now, like I said, 2019 was the last time we saw Mason start a game. That's a long time. That was when Ben was hurt. And we were going between him and Duck Hodges. And then 2020, Ben is back. Mason sits. 2021, Ben is the starter. Mason sits. 2022, Mitch and Kenny. Mason sits. 2023, here we are. So it really comes down to what the hell's going on. Obviously, they fired Matt Canada, and the first game after, they got the 400 yards. They got 200 yards more than their opponent. Yeah, they didn't score a ton of points, but Kenny hit Deontay for a touchdown, which had it been reviewed or challenged by Tomlin, maybe they call it a touchdown, but they called it incomplete, and then Jaylen Warren fumbles on the very next play. So it's okay, you should have had 7 there, and this, that, the other, whatever. But it's hey, there's definitely something wrong. while yes, they fired Matt Canada and he's no longer the play caller, it's still his offense. Like, that's, I don't know if some people like realize that or not. Like, it's the Matt Canada offense. Like, it's not a completely new offense now that Mike's the play caller and Eddie's the OC. So that could be part of the problem. And like, they immediately attacked the middle of the field with Pat Freiermuth. But now they've gone back to what Matt was doing. Not using the middle, using the outsides, short stuff. Like, what are you doing? Like, you had a system that worked well in one game, and then you completely went away from it for whatever reason. So, it's just why on offense, and now the defense. There's been a lot of injuries. I 100% accept that and acknowledge that. Losing Cole Holcomb for the year, losing Quan Alexander for the year. Cam Hayward was injured for a large portion of the year. Landon Roberts has missed much of the year. Or has missed portions of the year, I should say. Not much of it. Minka missed some time. KZ, not injury, but if his suspension holds up, he'll be gone for the rest of the year. And then, so safety's been just crazy because Keanu Neal, he's out too. Elijah Riley, he's coming back soon. His 21-day window was opened for practicing. But, like, you got Trenton Thompson, I think his name is. He got injured too. Like, the Steelers have just been decimated by injuries this year on defense. So, while that does not fully excuse what's going on, it does give a little bit of insight as to why. Now, I'm not a fan of Teryl Austin. I feel like we should have kept Brian Flores as our defensive coordinator and maybe gotten rid of Teryl Austin. So, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of his. Plus, it was during the Packers game where Teryl Austin called a play and then Minka had to say, no. What the hell are you doing? We need to guard the goal line. So then they called the timeout, talked it over, and then they were guarding the goal line. So it's like, I don't know if the moment's too big for Teryl Austin or if he is overthinking things or what. So, I mean, between injuries, guys on offense, I think some of them have started to give up a little bit. Deontay, he said he didn't see the fumble from Jalen. Who knows? But then he didn't even try to chase down the guy when he saw him running. George Pickens has been a little lackluster in his effort as far as blocking is concerned. And I understand it. It's frustrating. It is. You wish that you had a guy like a Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a Lamar, a Jalen Hurts. You wish you had one of those top-tier talents at quarterback. Unfortunately, you don't. Right now, this is what you got, and you gotta give effort. You do. So, I know the offensive line, some of the guys aren't good. Like, Dan Moore, I want gone. I want another tackle. So then you move Broderick to left, get a right tackle, get a new center because I'm fine with Suamalu and James Daniels at the guard positions. I'm fine with that. So then all you need is a right tackle, you need a center, and I think the offensive line is good. So it's, a couple positions on the O-line. It's just a couple areas they got to improve. They do. So as far as what's wrong with them, honestly, personnel, coaching, and I know what people say, fire Mike Tomlin, fire Mike Tomlin. You don't fire Mike Tomlin. If you want Mike Tomlin gone, you trade Mike Tomlin. Because, let's say, let me pick something valuable. AirPods. If I were to just say, hey, free AirPods, anyone wants them, come take them. People would rush because they're, they're not expensive, but they're not cheap. You can spend, I think I spent $100 on these. So if I just said free AirPods, they'd be gone pretty damn quick. If I said free, I'm not going to pick it up, but like free PlayStation 4, free headset. If I had something and say, by the way, it's free, and it would be a highly in-demand item, I'm stupid for giving it away for free. I would sell it to make a profit. Or maybe not make a profit, but to get something out of it. That's what you do with Mike Tomlin. You trade Mike Tomlin, that way you get something from him instead of just firing him and getting nothing. So if you truly want Mike Tomlin gone, you trade Mike Tomlin. And we saw Sean Payton get traded, and the Saints got quite a bit for that. So who knows what we would get from Mike Tomlin, if that's the route that the Steelers do go. But you don't fire him, you trade him. But to me, it's coaching, it's personnel, it could be mindset. As far as and Ben Roethlisberger recently said he thinks the Steelers culture might be dead. And it might be, who knows? So I think there's a lot of things wrong with the Steelers. And sitting at 7-7 after losing 3 straight, I've seen the mindset. They were 7-4, and everyone's like, 2 games versus 2 win teams, then that's going to be 9-4. And if we drop a game or 2, we're fine. We're still going to win 10, 11 games. And it's like, now that they're 7-7 after dropping 3, heck, even before losing to the Colts, after losing to Arizona and New England, it's doom and gloom. And everyone's like, we might not win another game this season. You went from a high horse to drowning in quicksand like that. And were both overreactions? Could be, yeah. Is this 3-game stretch of what Pittsburgh truly is? Because they were getting outgained and outgained and outgained, yet they were winning and winning and winning. And is this truly what Pittsburgh is now? Yeah, maybe. Or at least this season, maybe. Maybe this is actually the kind of team they were. And they were just getting lucky with some of their wins. Don't get me wrong, they definitely did get lucky with some of their wins. 2 defensive touchdowns versus Cleveland, and they barely won. Picking off Jordan Love at the goal line. Lamar and the receivers. Lamar throwing the pick to Joey, and the receivers dropping all those passes. Like, they definitely lucked into some of their wins. Don't get me wrong. So, instead of 7-7, could they have easily been, 4-10? Yeah, maybe. And then it's like, losing to the 2-win teams when you only have 4 wins, that makes sense. Or at least more sense. But, the Steelers need a reboot. Everyone's like, they don't, what the hell's it called? It's like you don't blank, you reload. You don't rebuild. That's what it is. You don't, they don't rebuild, they reload. it's okay. We didn't sign any big free agents. We maybe let a couple of guys go. We're just going to draft some guys. They're going to work, and we're going to keep going. So, if you guys enjoy this, leave a like. Let me know what you think about what's going on with the Steelers down below in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.